377. Any reason why you're rolling your window up when I walk up to this car?
No, sir.
You've been driving it down for the past mile?
I just rolled it up.
All right, step out of the car for me.
You will not believe how far this escalates.
Step out. Do not shut that window. Open it now. Step out. Right here. Face that direction. Face that direction. Put your hands right here behind your back. Don't move. Do you understand? Why are you acting so suspicious?
Stop being suspicious? Who needs laws when you have a police officer's feelings, am I right? Because it always seems like it doesn't matter what's actually happening. Just what a police officer feels like might happen.
Nothing. I rolled out my window.
Take off.
That's my dad.
No, sir.
Yeah.
I rolled out my window.
320, give me a unit code now.
And he got mad because I rolled out my window.
Step right here.
Window down?
I rolled it up.
Step right your feet.
Well, that's what happened, huh?
Yeah.
You're about to be arrested for blocking the roadway if you don't park and get out.
I rolled
Park and get out?
I rolled
Park
up my
over
window.
there.
I said I can. It's my right.
You are interfering with my job. You need to go park over there.
And this right here is where it becomes very clear that this is all about police officers feeling powerful and not actually about upholding any law. Because you'll see that the father in this situation does not do anything to provoke the police officers in any way and is pretty clearly breaking no law.
Put your phone down.
Blocking the roadway?
Put your phone down. Turn around.
No, man,
Nope.
for what?
Hey.
What? Hold on. What am I blocking? I'm not
Put your
blocking
phone
any
down.
roadway.
Nope. Enough.
I am not blocking a roadway.
All right. Put your phone down. Put your hands behind your head.
Hey, Russ, I hope you got this on video. This guy's arresting me for just standing here. And now he's taking my phone away.
Hey. Out of the unit.
Dude, oh my God.
Hey, you're gonna...
Dude, what are you doing?
You're gonna get sprayed. Okay?
I'm not
Put your
even
hands
doing
behind
anything.
your head.
Oh my God.
Spray him.
I'm not even doing anything.
Get that over here. Excuse me.
323, need a more unit. Run code.
Dude, what the heck, man?
Stop. Stop.
Stay away.
323, OC spread.
So let's take all this together. This starts off with somebody who literally just rolls up their window when they get pulled over. Which, like, why would you do that? You're probably going to roll your window down anyway when the police officer shows up. But whatever. It's like a tiny detail. The police hyper fixates on this as though it's like some sort of personal affront to them as an individual. And then all of a sudden, this is suspicious, and this person finds themselves being arrested for just rolling up their window. Something that very clearly, in and of itself, is not a crime. Unless, of course, you think that disagreeing with a police officer or not perfectly anticipating what a police officer wants you to do as a crime. But it's not. But so then the police officer decides that that's super suspicious, and so suspicious that he needs to arrest this guy. For what exactly? And then obviously the dad in the situation sees this, wants to see what's going on, pulls over somewhere, starts trying to film the police officers, and of course the police go after him, tackle him, and then mace him while he is literally on the ground asking what is going on. And this is just deeply shameful, and it speaks to how the policing system that exists within the United States is fundamentally disinterested in the well-being of regular people. Because fundamentally, it's not about protecting people. These police officers were very obviously not protecting anybody. It's just about elevating their own personal power fantasy. But what actually fuels this? Fundamentally, it's fear. What funds and fuels police departments across the entire country is fear. Because police officers don't actually prevent crime. What police officers do is they simply provide a false sense of security to people who want to be able to call them to commit acts of violence against people in their community. And that at a structural level, what that ends up doing is concentrating violence and crime to the most marginalized. So that the most privileged people are less likely to be the victims of crime, but there's more crime overall. Because the people who are also most likely to be the victims of the crimes are not really given any protection by police officers. And then add on top of that the simple fact that all of this deference to police officers that so many people have leads to a culture where police get away with basically whatever they want. And in that environment where you have people whose sole purpose is to bring violence into every situation and who are given a ridiculous amount of authority to do whatever they want and very little scrutiny whenever they do break what few rules exist for them, you get people like this, who are very obviously running around abusing their power in the most shameless and obvious ways. And this is why policing as an institution is fundamentally a failure. From its very origin, policing was never meant to prevent crime. It was more about concentrating crime. Fundamentally, they're institutions that are intended to direct violence towards marginalized people. That is what the police do. Things like a housing policy could prevent crime. Things like basic food programs, education programs, de-escalation programs, even individuals, unarmed individuals, to respond to situations to help de-escalate them. All of these different things could help prevent crime and do so in a way that is probably a lot less costly than sending somebody who might as well have like a whole arsenal with them. But then on top of that, if you actually look at what police officers respond to, you'll realize that the overwhelming majority of it does not require any type of armed response. Things like traffic stops, things like small domestic disputes, all of these things could be easily settled by people who do not have firearms. And yet, we insist as a society to specifically have armed men show up who inevitably will raise the stakes of any situation that they're involved in. And whether that means people getting harmed like they are in this video, or people dying like we've seen countless times across the country, it seems pretty clear that policing as an institution is not keeping us safe. It is only empowering, arguably, some of the worst people in society.